Hello? Hello, welcome to everybody. Can you hear me? So, welcome to all. I give a special thanks to the most distant participants who will speak from Ecuador, Uganda, and Lebanon. My name is Sabina Siniscalchi. I am the chair of Oxfam Italy, a member of the board of Fondazione Triulza, a coalition of 67 Italian associations, NGOs, and movements working in different fields, such as environment, culture, human rights, development cooperation. Fondazione Triulza is the organizer of this workshop, which is held inside a 2 days event about the topic, the challenge of recovery. The event, held in streaming because of the pandemic, aims to present the best innovative practice of resilience put in place especially by young people. Various themes are addressed, such as circular economy, technologies for sustainable and social development, urban regeneration, involvement of the local communities. The audience are students, cooperants, young entrepreneurs, representatives of university, local authorities, civil society organizations. This is the second edition of the event, and for the first time, Fondazione Triulza invited speakers from the Global South in order to present their good practices. We are convinced that in such countries, the challenge is even more difficult. So we will present 3 programs from 3 different countries, supported and implemented by 3 Italian NGOs that are members of Fondazione Triulza. ACRA in Ecuador, AFSI in Uganda, and Oxfam in Lebanon. Unfortunately, the time at our disposal is very short, only 40 minutes in total. So we'll have 10 minutes for each presentation about. I ask the participants who want to ask questions to our speakers to put them using Facebook or YouTube. Let's start with the first experience in Ecuador. So I give the floor to Pietro Graziani, environment expert of the NGO ACRA, and to Pierandrea Turchiuli, who is the field operator in the initiative Grow Green Young Leaders for Tomorrow. Please, Pietro, it's to you.
Thank you, Sabina. Good afternoon to everybody. Thank you very much to Fondazione Triulza for this opportunity to present the initiative of ACRA Foundation that is realizing in Ecuador to promote circular economy as a tools of innovation and integration for young people towards a more sustainable society. My name is Pietro Graziani. I'm coordinating some of these initiative of circular economy in Ecuador, and today is a pleasure to talk with my colleague Pier Andrea Turchiuli, young collaborator, Italian collaborator of ACRA, that is participating in different activities, and I think that today he's talk about his experience here in Ecuador. Hello, hi, I'm Pier Andrea. Welcome. And
thank
I
you,
would like,
Pietro.
I would like to start with a first general answer about what is doing Ecuador for integrating young professional towards a circular economy.
Yeah, thank you, Pietro, for your question. First of all, let me say that the concept of circular economy represents a new trend in Ecuador that is developing the last 2 or 3 years. In 2019, Ecuador completed the first phase of the Libro Blanco, the White Book of Circular Economy, which represents a fundamental planning tool for identifying priority sectors of intervention with the participation of universities and youth organizations. The second phase of the Libro Blanco, together with the national roadmap, will be completed in the next months and will then allow Ecuador to start the last stage of planning, which involves the elaboration of the national circular economy strategy that will guide new entrepreneurial activities toward greater sustainability, greater respect for the environment, and will create new job opportunities.
Thank you, Andrea. Very interesting. And I would like to know also what is doing ACRA Foundation about the circular economy and how his activity can represent an opportunity for young people.
Yeah, thank you, Pietro. The circular economy represents a paradigm shift in the current Ecuadorian economic model and a great opportunity for the young and future professionals, since only in Latin America, the ILO, the International Labour Organization, estimated it to generate 4 million new job places. In this context, in the last 3 years, the ACRA Foundation has put in place a series of initiatives that seek, on the one hand, to strengthen the skills and the knowledge of young civil servants and entrepreneurs, and on the other hand, to disseminate emblematic experiences and guidelines of the circular economy involving all the main stakeholders like municipalities, ministries, private companies, NGOs, associations, universities, etc. In 2018 and 2020, 2 academic training courses were organized with the Flaxo University and the Catholic University of Ecuador, respectively on circular economy and waste management related topics, as well as environmental services related topics. This has given rise to an important study with international teachers who have transmitted the main message that the circular economy teaches us to move from the concept of waste to that of resource, from the idea of owner of a product to that of user of a service. For the young Ecuadorians who participated, new ground broke and they developed a new vision of the life cycle of the product use and consume every day. In addition, with the support of ARA, the USA University is currently launching the first postgraduate master's degree in Ecuador on circular economy, which will surely represent an important basis for all those students who are approaching or are willing to approach and to get committed to the implementation of the circular economy. ACRA is also working on the dissemination to extra academic levels, as in 2019, together with the European Union. It organized the first international circular economy seminar in Ecuador that allowed the creation of the National Forum of Circular Economy, which is still valid and brings together experts from all over the country. In conclusion, recently in January 2021, the Tungurahua Provincial Roundtable about Circular Economy and Climate Change was created. It aims to be one of the most productive roundtables in Ecuador, and we hope it will help young entrepreneurs to create a permanent change of the economic paradigm, a more sustainable and environmentally friendly paradigm. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Pier Andrea. Concretely, there is in Ecuador some innovative circular initiative for young professional? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you, Pedro. Oh,
yeah.
Now I hear you. Okay, thank you. In Ecuador, the so-called circular initiatives and entrepreneurial activities are not yet emblematic. For this reason, ACRA is striving to bring and to replicate international examples that can create a multiplier effect in the short, middle term. Surely, one of the most interesting experiences that ACRA was able to share in the first phase of implementation with the circular model is that of the Italian-Slovenian company Live for Tires, which is about to build a plan for the valorization of used tires, producing again the three raw materials of origin that are black carbon, steel, and biodiesel. With the creation of about 300 new job places for young people, a highly advanced research center, and above all, by solving almost entirely the serious environmental problem, the final disposal of tires. This project should start by the end of 2021 and should be in full swing by the end of 2022.
Thank you. In conclusion, which future perspective is planning for ACRA Foundation in Ecuador about circular economy?
ACRA Foundation focuses on young people and new generations. In this sense, some of the fundamental pillars of our planning in Ecuador are to consolidate collaboration with universities, to create and maintain new training courses on the circular economy, to organize events and student exchanges, to create opportunities for internships abroad with the cutting-edge companies, and so on. Another important aspect is undoubtedly that of being able to count on future international cooperation projects on the circular economy, which will allow more and more young people to be involved, introducing important components of technological innovation and applied research. Finally, one of the key aspects is the participation of ACRA in the legislative process of the circular economy in Ecuador, where ACRA is already a significant player and a point of reference in various fields, and which will allow to strengthen the capacities of the future young leaders of the association or organization from the public sector in holding a circular vision and aiming to achieve a series of global sustainable development goals.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Thank you for your conversation. And thank you to Fondazione Triulza. And we are available, obviously, for every question from the public.
Fine.
Thank you very much.
Fine. Thank you, Pietro and Pier Andrea, for your presentation. So the time is running, so let's move to the second experience, which is in Uganda, and it is presented by Samuele Rizzo, Chief of Party of AFSI, and Arthur Vaniala, CEO of Cainza Energy. The topic is skilling in agri-entrepreneurship for youth employment. Please, Samuele.
Thank you, Sabina, and thank you for this opportunity. I am Samuele Otim Rizzo. I work for Fondazione AFSI. I'm the chief of party for the project Skilling Youth for Employment in Agribusiness. Fondazione AFSI is a non-for-profit organization founded in 1972 in Italy, implements development and humanitarian aid projects. Our vision is to work for a world where the person is the protagonist of her own integral development and that of her community, even in crisis and emergency contexts. Worldwide, we work in 33 countries, and we have over 2,000 staffs with an overall budget of 80 million, slightly over 80 million euros, and 216 projects. One of the countries where we implement our activities is Uganda. We've been present in Uganda since 1984. Especially started in the northern part of Uganda, but now AFSI's interventions reach all regions of Uganda, focusing on education, economic empowerment and livelihoods, health, disability, HIV/AIDS, nutrition, child protection, humanitarian emergency, sanitation, hygiene, and energy. AFSI remained a direct supporter of communities and partner organizations throughout the two-decade civil conflict in the northern region of the country, demonstrating commitment and capacity to adapt to volatile situations. Today, through public-private partnerships, AFSI engages with private sector players, government, and communities to build their capacity of children, youths, and households across Uganda through a comprehensive approach that builds resilience and contributes to sustainable development. In Uganda, we have currently 20 projects, 12 branches across the country, and an annual budget of circa $13 million per year. One of the projects that we implemented was funded by the Dutch government, the Kingdom of the Netherlands. It was a 5 years project, a 13 million euro initiative called Skilling Youth for Employment in Agribusiness. The intention was to skill 8,000 youths and get 4,000 of these youths employed in the sector. One of the approaches we adopted was to engage the private sector, and thus we met a very innovative and interesting agripreneur, a youth, Arthur Wunyala, who became immediately one of our flagship partners in the project. He deals with biogas. And so Arthur, tell us about yourself and how you became an agripreneur in Uganda.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel, and to everyone who is hosting us on this platform. My name is Arthur. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Kayenza Energy, where we are committed to ensuring that every single household has access to cleaner cooking energy. Our business started in 2016, where I was pursuing my mechanical engineering degree, and we're introduced to the concept of the conversion of organic waste into biogas. And the intention was for us to use this biogas to run mechanical equipment and agricultural machinery. However, when I went back home for those holidays, I found that my mother had actually fallen sick. She had been diagnosed with an acute respiratory infection, and it was as a result of prolonged exposure to smoke while cooking for us with firewood and charcoal. So it made me really sad to know that I was about to get my mechanical engineering degree at the expense of her health. So I decided to try out the concept of the conversion of organic waste into biogas, and it turned out to be really good. So we decided to launch our company, Kayenza Energy, and I named it after my mother because she was the inspiration behind the whole concept. And the first challenge that we found out about the biogas industry is that the systems that are offered are often too expensive for the target market. So we decided we needed to innovate and see how we can reduce the price. And through a partnership with Uganda Industry Research Institute, we're actually able to develop a prototype, the first ever packaged biogas in Uganda. And that is where the company is right now.
Thank you, Arthur. How did you benefit from the collaboration with AFSI's Sky project?
Thank you, Samuel. So we had an amazing product and we had an amazing service, which was the installation of biogas digesters. However, for our new innovation of the cylinders to scale, we needed to have sustainable production. So no one knew about our idea, and as much as there was a real market need for what we had actually developed, we were not able to access these customers. So while at an agricultural exhibition, we were approached by a representative of the APSI Foundation in Uganda who took interest in our product, and they invited us to explain to them how our business is working. And this was when we explained one of our main challenges, and that was the fact that we were going to struggle to scale our production based on our current biogas system. So the APSI Foundation sponsored our very first large-scale biogas digester, specifically for the conversion of agricultural wastes into biogas packaged in recyclable cylinders. At the same time, the APSI Foundation was implementing the Skilling Youth project, in which they were equipping youth with skills in various agricultural technologies. So Kainza Energy partnered with the APSI Foundation to skill 12 youth with the skills in biogas installations, and this has resulted into a reduction in labor costs for the installation of biogas by 65%. This was our first biogas digester, a large-scale one, and they introduced us to their partners. And as I speak right now, Kainza Energy has installed biogas digesters in 3 schools across the country, and these systems are being used to prepare for over 3,000 students. So the other thing that we got from the Foundation was that we were struggling to get visibility, and they were able to bring us into these market exhibitions and also creating media linkages for our business. And as a result, Kainza Energy has been transformed into a very reputable and reliable partner in the biogas market of Uganda.
Thank you, Arthur. Maybe highlight us a bit what are your future plans and what are the future plans of the Kainza enterprise?
Thank you, Samuel. So we had, through our partnership with APSI, schools had become our niche market. But as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, schools were the most affected, and we ended up losing prospective revenues of over 85% of our revenues. So we decided we needed to look at a new market. So we innovated and we created the Kainza app. The Kainza app is Africa's first online marketplace, which is specifically dedicated to cleaner cooking and energy-saving appliances. So our plan is actually to open up this platform not just to the market, but also to suppliers by setting up Kainza Energy College, where we are going to be equipping youth who are going to help us to contribute to the circular economy. And I believe that in the next 10 years, our company, Kainza Energy, is going to be not just one of the most reputable companies for enabling access to cleaner energy, but also be one of the best incubators for youth who would like to be trained and who would like to venture into cleaner cooking solutions. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Arthur. I wish you the best in your future endeavors. I'm very excited to hear those future plans. Thank you also to Fondazione Triulza. Of course, we are available for any questions that might arise. Thank you. Back to you, Sabina.
Thank you, Samuele. Thank you very much, Mr. Vaniala, for this interesting explanation. I tell the participants, if you want more further information about this experience, you can find them in the Kainza Energy website. So we have now the third experience, which is from Lebanon. And it is presented by Silvana Grispino, who is the Global Portfolio Manager of Oxfam Italy, and also by George Bitar, founder and president of Live Live Live, Love, Recycle. Please, Silvana.
Hi, Sabina, and thank you, Fondazione Triulza, and hello, everyone that is hearing from us. I am Silvana Grispino. I work for Oxfam Italy as Global Portfolio Manager. I will take 2 minutes of your time to introduce what Oxfam is doing in Lebanon, and then I will leave the floor to George to walk us through this amazing social enterprise that he is leading, Live, Love, Recycle. So Oxfam Italia is part of the broader Oxfam Confederation. We are working in different topics from humanitarian recovery and development programs all over the world. And specifically in Lebanon, we have been working in Lebanon since the 90s. As you all know, Lebanon is going through a very tough period that started many years ago. As you know, with the Syria crisis, Lebanon today hosts the higher number per capita of refugees in the world. Each 3 people in Lebanon, 1 is a refugee. On top of that, since October 2019, Lebanon is living a really heavy social and economical crisis, followed by the COVID, which is, of course, a worldwide pandemic and crisis. But, of course, in Lebanon, given the situation, this is hitting really severely. And lately, as we all know, the tragic event of August 2020 with the explosion in Beirut port. So, in this really tragic situation for Lebanon and all the individuals living in the country, as Oxfam, we are really convinced that youth and youth innovation is the only way forward to reconstruct and to really give hope for the next generation. This is why through our programs that support youth-led social enterprises, we are supporting experiences like the one that George will explain, like Live, Love, Recycle, because through innovative ideas, through innovative approaches, they can really foster change. And this is what Lebanon and Lebanese, and not only and people living in Lebanon, is what they really need. So I don't want to take more of your time, and I am really happy to give the floor to George that will definitely inspire all of us with this wonderful example. Over to you, George.
Thank you, Silvana. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all safe from COVID. I will share my screen for the presentation. Sorry. Trying to share the presentation. Okay, so our story started in 2015. We had the huge garbage crisis in Lebanon. Our streets were literally flooded with garbage. We wanted to recycle, but we couldn't find any way to do it. Hello? We couldn't find any way to do it. So we wanted to recycle and reduce this garbage crisis, but we couldn't find any way to do it. So we had an idea. We created an application where with a simple click, you can request a pickup. A driver will pass by, collect all your recyclable, and send them to the nearest recycling facility. We had this idea in 2015. We struggled for almost 3 years to find funds to create our application. And in 2018, we met WFP and other donors who allowed us to launch our project beyond beyond our dreams. So we managed to create 436 jobs for people from vulnerable communities, including 20 women who are cooking daily for them and providing them food. We bought 55 an entire fleet of electrical vehicles to do Beirut and collect the recyclable. In almost 3 years of work, we collected more than 1.5 million bags, which is the equivalent of 3,000 tons of recyclables. We saved them from polluting our landfills and our Mediterranean seas. We have more than 25,000 persons recycling with us in Beirut and the areas around. We were featured in many media across the world, and we have won several prizes also across the world, which one with Oxfam made up, which helped us create our new application, which we launched on the 3rd of August, on the eve of the explosion that Silvana was talking about, which was one of the biggest one of the third non-nuclear explosions that exploded in a city. And so I'm not getting back, but I think Silvana explained a little bit what's happening in Lebanon. We have a revolution since 2019. We have a devaluation. We cannot access our money in the bank. And of course, we have COVID and the Beirut explosion. During the Beirut explosion, I was personally injured. Our office was less than 100 meters away from this explosion. You can see our office was destroyed, our warehouse was destroyed, but despite everything, after 2 weeks, we were on the ground back trying to help our community to remove glass. Till today, we are still removing glass from the blast. We installed a recycling facility in the area of the blast. We managed to reopen our sorting facility, a bigger sorting facility, of course, with the support of Oxfam, and they gave us also, apart MedUp, they gave us another grant to restore some of our stuff that were broken. And here we are today, back on service with our new app. We extended to another city, and we are soon opening to the second biggest city of the country. And of course, also thanks to our team. We hope with your that's it. Thank you to Oxfam, and thank you all.
Thank you, George. Just one question to close, and then I will leave definitely the floor to Sabina to close, since I think we are very close to the end. What is your vision? What is your vision as a social entrepreneur for the future of Live, Love, Recycle? Where do you see Live, Love, Recycle going?
Thank you for the question. It's the last thing that I wanted to add, but I forgot. We would love to actually become the Uber of recycling. We would love to we know that more than 90% of the plastic in the world is not being recycled. More than 3 billion persons in the world don't have access to a recycling service. So we believe that our idea could be implemented. We would love to replicate our idea in other countries to help reduce this global pandemic, which is not Corona, but the garbage pandemic. So thank you.
Thank you so much, George.
Thank you.
Thank you, George. Thank you, Silvana. Well, we had the opportunity to hear very interesting experiences in the field of sustainable development, circular economy, and so we understand that civil society, the most vibrant civil society in the world, is going in the same direction for changing this world. So I ask Silvana to help me. Silvana, please, do you see if we have any question from the public?
I don't see any comments so far.
So therefore we can conclude. It was a very interesting workshop. Fondazione Triulza will keep in touch with your organization, and especially with these 3 special experiences. I thank you very much, and well, see you soon. Bye.